Good evening and welcome back to the Mindful Model Makers workshop. Tonight what we're going to do, I know you've seen these kind of things before, but I haven't shown you the whole fit before. So this time what I've done, because I learnt on the first one that I made, even though it works okay, I learnt that it needed some extra weight. So these are weights that tyre companies use. They come in a strip with a self-adhesive bit on the back. You just peel off and you can just put them on until you've got the weight in the place so you want. It just sticks, and yeah, they're very good. You can buy them. There is somebody on eBay selling them. I'm lucky at the club I belong to that somebody's son works in a tyre fitting place. So this is how they come, with these different things. So you just cut the piece that you want. So move them out there. You can just cut through the middle like so with a sharp knife, and then when you peel that off, the blue sticky stuff, then you've got this kind of pad, and you can just stick that on where you require it. Now I've painted them black because obviously you will see through the windows of the coaches. So I'll show you these now. So this is the rear of the 4 sub. Now in them days they had what they call stencil head codes. They didn't have anything, as far as I know, for the red, but they used to have the old-fashioned traditional tail lamp. These tail lamps are 3D printed. They come in a pack and you just take them off and you can just paint your little red dot on there, and you've got quite an authentic, obviously scale size tail lamp, because that's what they used to have on the back. And then the guard used to take that off, run it round the other end, and the driver used to open the window and lean out and put the stencils in. So the stencil head code looks like that. I've got a 70 head code on the southeast. Used to be from Orpington to Victoria, and I've actually found a picture in a book of a 4-car sub going from Orpington to Victoria. So I thought, right, well that's okay, I can do that. So again, this is a guy on eBay selling. They're not actually decals or transfers, whatever you want to call them. They're stickers. They come on a sheet. You get varying, if I can get the sheet there. That's it. If you can see this, I'll take it out of the plastic. There's different ones that you've got in there. And I just take that out with a knife, and then the front part comes away from the back and it's sticky, and you can just stick it on. So these are stencil head codes. I've got other stock that I'm going to build, so I will use different ones. I tend to use head codes of trains that I've driven myself. I haven't driven a 4-car sub up and down that line, but I have driven a 4-car sub before, but that was over on the western side of the railway when I was doing my training. So yes, so that's where we are on there. So what I want to show you tonight is the finished chassis, and it's painted. There's one little thing that I may not have told you before, but to keep the spacing right between the bogie and this strip that goes along, I cut a thin piece of tube, hollow tube, and put it along this actual spindle that sticks up from the Eurostar motor bogie, and that stops it dropping down, because otherwise it tends to drop down. So to keep the right height, I use a piece of tubing. It's not glued on, it's just cut to length and put on. Then what I did, I ran it round and I fiddled around with weights until such times as I got it weighted about the right. It's pushing down nicely on the power bogie, and there is a video of this running round just an oval of track. So what I'm ready to do now is to put the top on. So I use the original tabs that are on there. I cut away the front ones because obviously they were getting in the way, and all the other tabs are left on. So what I do now is to slot that in like so. That's it. And this side now, they line up quite well. I don't even know if I'm actually putting the right top on the right base, but I think the number of times I've taken it on and off, and it's always lined up. I think, there we are, it's on there now. Right, and what I do now is the reverse of what I did in the very beginning. This is a tool that you get for, if you buy one of them kind of watch strap repair kits with the little spindles and things in, that comes in with it. I find it very good to go down there and then to get square on top and just push the tab back down flat. Now I'll turn that across to the light. I don't know if you can see this, I hope you can. So that's one tab. Then I'll turn it round and I'll push the other tab down. So these are bits I haven't really shown before, I've just mentioned it, but you know, this is just to show this is what I actually really do. So, and push the tab. See, I don't like to take these on and off. They've come off, I've tried them, slipped them on and off, but I've never put the tabs back until such times as I really want to put it on permanently. So now it's on there. Then I work my way along. You have to juggle it around a little bit because in some places it's quite tight to get into these, to push them back where they need to go. But with a bit of patience, take your time. You don't want them to snap. So that's it. So that one's flat and round now. Turn the bogey the other way, go back in and push the other one flat. And then this will seal that all together. Then you've got 4 at the actual back, you've got 2 at the sides, and then you've got the 2 end. That's it, it's going across. So make sure it's pushed tightly in so that it's not, that's it. You push that down, it square it nicely up. That one's there, quite good. So I can push that one down, like so, and that's that. So this does run actually quite nicely with the weight on, and because you've got those self-adhesive things, I mean obviously they're designed to go on car wheels, so they're not going to come off, are they? Because how many times does that, you know, when you're doing say 70-80 miles an hour in a vehicle, that's whizzing round and they don't come off. So you can imagine just running around on my model, it's if that comes off, well, I don't know, but it shouldn't do. But they stick very well, and like I say, I painted it all black inside purely because then when you look through the window, it because they're all shiny silver, you're going to see it and you think, oh look, there's a load of them weights off car tyres inside. Right, so that is now fitted. So that's the first one. There's no horn on top of these. I think depending on the year that you're modelling, there may be 2-tone horns. But on this particular model, the little bit at the side there is a whistle. I think it was a brass whistle, if I remember rightly. Now I've got a hook on there. These had a screw link coupling. I'm waiting for the screw link couplings to go. I know I need to paint the buffers. I need to paint the black on all of the cables that hang down on the electrics, and then just spruce up, and then I will probably give the roof another coat of grey, and then after that I will varnish the roof. And then also I will make up shoe beams to go on here. As you can see, I've kind of flattened that down, and then the shoe beam will glue just onto that. I just use super glue and glue it on because they're just dummies. And I will then go around and just touch up gently any paintwork that's still visible that's going to people are going to see. So there we are. I think that sits pretty level on there. All I've got to do also is to, because these are old coaches, I never really looked into too much detail about the couplings, but some of the couplings need a little bit of lining up, which is just done by a small pair of pliers. Just gently twist, not too much, because if you twist it too far, don't forget these are old, and if somebody's bent it backwards and forwards a few times before you come along, it might snap off, and then of course you've then got to try and replace that, which is not an easy thing when you've put it all together and you've araldited a piece of wood right across the actual bit that holds the bokeh. So it's worth. So you can see there's a bit of wobble on there, which is what you want, because that's how the real ones go, and of course you get a little bit as it goes around the corners and all the rest. So I think that this is quite a good design for these. So that motor coach is done. This motor coach now will fit on this one. So you can see they're both identical. A lot of it's done by eye, I'm afraid, because it's very difficult, because some of these coaches, they do vary a little bit in the way they're constructed. So it's very hard to just think, right, I'm going to cut that to that size, that to that size, and then it fits. They do to a degree, but not 100%. So I don't know why, but there are lots of variations with different things. Like we discussed before, the black bit at the back, some are just black, and some of these show the actual kind of cables for the lighting and all the other bits and pieces that come down there, and then others it doesn't. So as you can see, I've got underneath, I've got two types of pickup. This is the one I done, and the other one is one that my son done for something he was building, but it works, so I didn't bother taking it off. I couldn't see the point in taking something off that works perfectly well. So again, we've got to get that tab in that slot there, so that's that in. Right, so that's in. I can just get down inside there now and push that tab down. So the 4-car sub, apart from lots of little bits of detail now, I probably won't film it again now until all the detail is on, and then you can have a bit of a close-up look of it if you want, and I'll either photograph that or just film a little short burst of seeing it close up. So that one's in there. There is another one here somewhere. There it is. So that's got to go across there like so, straight down. I tend to try and squeeze it together so that when I push down, it's going to hold it tight. They do go in nicely. So I mean, whoever thought of this idea, and I don't know how these women must have sat there, because it was, I think, mainly women that put these together. It's not a sexist remark, it's just the fact that I think it was women that were more or less employed in these factories, assembling the coaches and various other parts. So, quite a fiddly job, and I would imagine there's a few sharp edges sometimes, so you might have got a few cuts while you were doing it, because it's all kind of a rough tin plate. So that's it. So that's them there, and then there's these two that hold on that end section, which is very difficult to bend. There she goes. So that will hold that firmly on now. If I can push that in like so. That's it, like that. Push that down. Right, there we are. Just check, that's all of them. So now we have, I think what I've done, I've knocked the lamp off there, but it doesn't matter. I can glue that back on, but I only put the lamp on so that I could get a photo of it, but anyway, I'll put that back on. So that's the two units now fully fitted on there, and you can see the little wobble as I kind of shape them a bit like that, but it gives them the movement that they need as they're going around the track. So yes, so that's it for now. That is the two motor coaches completed as regards fitting the electrics, it all works. I've tested it for 2 or 3 hours running to make sure everything's okay. I worked out roughly by trial and error the weight that I needed, and that's it. And that's all you can really do. And it seems to work quite well. So all I'll be doing now is finishing off the detail, and then once that's done I will show you the finished thing. Anyway, thank you very much for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.